Hello again, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Deni Kay. I'm here today with not one but three whiskies that I'm going to sit down and enjoy with you today. They are all part of the Amrut Spectrum range. I have 1, 2, and 3 here in front of me. I'm going to drink them side by side, share with you my thoughts, rank them, my favorite to least favorite. I will say though, there are absolutely no losers here. They're all great. I'm a very big fan of Amrut whiskey. Love their core range and also love a lot of the single casks that I've tried before. So I would absolutely recommend, if you haven't already explored Amrut whiskey, that you do so. I would also recommend that you hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. That way you can join me again next week. Now, Amrut Spectrum, let's very quickly go through what these whiskies are, how they were put together. Then we're going to go through smell, taste, experience, and rank them. I'll try to keep this as succinct as possible. So, Spectrum, what are these whiskies about? Essentially, what you will find is that these whiskies were matured in ex-bourbon casks, then finished in rather special casks that were put together by some very talented coopers out of different types of wood. So what do I mean by that, right? You whiskey folk would know that normally whiskey is matured in a cask that is made up of one type of wood and also has held contents that would all be the same from stave to stave. So what I mean is every single bit of wood in that cask, if it's held PX, then that's quite simply what it comes from. Not the case with these. So for example, with this Spectrum here, which is released in 2015 and is the first in the range, there were 5 different types of wood that made up that cask. So the staves came from different cask types. So XPX cask, Oloroso cask, New American wood, New Spanish, and also New French. So the staves were made up into one cask and the staves were different types of wood types. So there you have it. Quite innovative. Now, I am, I guess you could say, a little bit of a traditionalist, but I love the idea and the concept behind this, and I don't mind this sort of innovation. So to go through these 3 and tell you the differences between them. This is the first release, 5 different wood types, as I just mentioned, released in 2015 and limited to only 1,000 bottles. So not a lot of this hanging about, I would say. Now, and if it is, you should drink it because it's delicious. The second one, 004, and I love the concept of this one, that James Bond vibe, very Bollywood, I guess you could say. I really dig it. The difference here is 4 different wood types, hence 004. So this has since been named, I guess you could say, by fans 005, because it's 5 different wood types. So this one here does not have the new sherry. So this is XPX, Ex Oloroso, New American Oak, and New French Oak that makes up this one. 1,800 bottles, released in 2017. This one finally just came out last year, released in 2021, limited to 6,000 bottles worldwide, so a little bit of a larger outturn with that one. Now, it's American Oak that was charred up to level 3, French Oak that was toasted, XPX, Ex Oloroso. So 4 different wood types there, made up into a special cask. Different wood types for all of these. They are all very different. It's time for me, without any further delay, to go through, share my thoughts with you. Now, we'll go with the first one. Very funky. Now, yes, sherry vibes coming through immediately. Absolutely. Rum and raisin ice cream, leather, coffee, chocolate, dark fruits are coming through now. Plums, dried figs, absolutely. Very, very dense nose. A little bit of spice. There's quite a little bit going on. I really dig it. I love that funkiness, that vibe that this gives off on the nose. It's a big dram. 50% ABV. The lot. Each one is 50% ABV. But this one really does have quite a kick. It's funky, I love it. You've got that dunnage type of funk, which is something I absolutely adore. And then from there, I'm getting a tiny little bit of spice, followed by the dried fruits that I mentioned earlier. It is still rather creamy, some leather, some chocolate, coffee, a little bit of bitterness that comes through. Very, very complimentary. It is not balanced at all. I've got everything that's coming to me all in a rush, like a big explosion. So it's not balanced. It's taking me on a bit of a journey. Baking spices coming through. Now, yes, some honey, some sugar, but it is almost like a bit of a, black, dirty, funky type of sugar. Cinnamon coming through. Nutmeg, yes, absolutely. I really adore this. Christmas cake type vibes. Dense, plenty going on. It's taking me on a journey. I really do find that when I find a good Amrut, what I love is that there are a lot of rough edges on it, and it's taking me on a little bit of a roller coaster ride. I can really spend some time with the dram. This is giving me exactly that. I really adore this one. Now, what we'll do is we'll move on to number 2. As I said, 4 different wood types here, released in 2017, 50% ABV. Now, on the nose is not as dense. When I go to first notes, here we go. Now, I've given them a little bit of time in the glass because I have tried them previously, 5, 15, 30, 40 minutes in the glass, and sometimes they really do, especially when it's a freshly cracked bottle. It needs 30, 40 minutes just to really open up, in my experience. Now, because they're big drams with plenty going on. This one here is far cleaner, no funk whatsoever on the nose. I'm still getting the chocolate, the dried fruits, baking spices coming through front and center, a little bit of citrus on this as well. Some orange, yes, absolutely. Quite nice so far. Some honey as well. Okay. Some spice, drying. It's fruity. So I'm getting some passion fruit. I'm also getting some quince, that drying sensation. Yes, absolutely. Coating the roof of my mouth and the tip of the tongue. Now comes the chocolate, bits of chocolate, bitter, coffee, dried fruits, yes, absolutely. Some cherries as well. Honey, yes, absolutely. Stopped short of giving me some menthol. Baking spices coming through on the finish. It's still a little bit creamy as well. I like it. I've tried it on its own before and I've really enjoyed it. When I have them side by side, it was a clear standout for me. So far, it's the number 1. On to the third. Now, different bottle shape here as well for the third and the newest. I'm really hoping that they don't stop at number 3. I'm really hoping that we don't have to wait 4 years for the next one to come up. So I'm hoping that we have one soon. Very balanced, clean in comparison to the first and almost even to the second as well. Almost quite balanced, because what I'm getting is I'm getting some savory notes. I'm getting a little bit of oak. I'm getting some of the dried fruits that come through to me here on the nose. So far it is, there are definitely some similarities with the other two. Yes, absolutely. But I would say this one is cleaner and far more balanced. Yep. That's coming through on the palate as well. It's creamy. I'm getting some lovely pastries with custard and also some sultanas in it as well. I'm getting those dried fruits that come through that you would expect with sherry, whiskey, chocolate, cinnamon, a little bit nutty as well, which I certainly did not get coming through so much with the other two. The chocolate and the coffee's coming through, absolutely, yes. Some citrus notes with this one as well. Far more balanced. So things are absolutely working in harmony with this particular one here. The finish on all of them is exceptionally long. Absolutely fantastic. I'm a fan of all of these whiskies. I can quite simply rank them as my favorite, second favorite, third favorite. Not least, but third favorite, because I like every single one of them. I've had them individually and I've enjoyed them, and now I have them side by side and I still enjoy them. And when I finish this video with you and I sit down and I enjoy each of these, I will absolutely enjoy them immensely. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope that you do subscribe if you don't already do so. Other than that, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Cheers to you. Till next time.